Hello, Facebook Live. Hello, everybody. Marcus here. What's happening? Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, the 20, what is today? The 25th, March 25th. Waiting for spring to come back and be warm again. Be warm again, and for this little bit of snow to melt. Hopefully, the snow is past us. So it's Wednesday, the 25th of March. Busy morning here at Aromatime, very busy morning. We did a little event today, we prepared meals for the county or for the town to get to people who are in need of meals. The list is growing, so we were contacted by the county and then by the town to provide meals today. A couple other restaurants in town are doing the same. So we were busy all morning. We did a garlic roasted chicken with roasted Yukon potatoes, glazed butternut squash, and cauliflower. All the same ingredients that we normally use, all of our local high quality ingredients. Got to feed 100 people here locally today that are in need of food, and that list is growing and growing here in town of Warsing. So I was busy all morning cooking in the kitchen, and we just got these meals out at about 1:45, about an hour ago. We got all these meals out. So what else is going on here today at Aromatime? Tonight is buy one, get one pizza. Buy one, get one pizza. That is going to our website. We have everything but our Hamiza pizza. Our Hamiza, we are out of hummus. We've ran out of a few things in our inventory. Some things we've purposely not made again because it is slower. People aren't coming in to eat. We're delivering. Although we had a great day yesterday with a lot of deliveries. The day before with the snow was terrible. People didn't want to go out during the snow. But yesterday, deliveries and takeout was booming. It was really awesome. Again, everybody, thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. We are able to keep a couple staff members on board. We brought a new staff member, another staff member in today, somebody who's not been with us since this whole thing went down. So he was able to work today. So thank you to the town of Warsing and the county for letting us supply meals to people in need. I guess there's about 200 people a day right now that need meals as of today, and that number is growing drastically here in Ulster County or in town of Warsing. So we're here to help and do all that kind of stuff. So busy morning in the kitchen. Our buy one get one pizza tonight. Jamie's been going on live every day at 4:00 and dropping a cocktail idea, a cocktail recipe every day at 4:00. So make sure you tune in around 4-ish to see Jamie live here on Facebook. And if you're tuning in live right now, drop a comment, #live. If it's on the replay, #replay. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Are you here in New York? Are you here in Ulster County? Are you here in Ellenville? Are you in California? Are you in Colorado? Are you in a different country? Every country is experiencing different lockdowns, or lots of countries are experiencing different lockdowns right now. I know I spoke to people in Europe and in the Philippines that their lockdown is pretty intense compared to our lockdown here in New York. Our lockdown is actually nothing compared to what's happening in some countries. So in the Philippines, I know you have to actually one person out of your house at one time to go, I think, to the grocery store once a day, and that's kind of it. Unless you need medical attention, that's kind of it. You are locked in your house. That's it. Some countries are taking this very seriously. So here in New York, we are blessed because you can still go out and get some fresh air. You can get some sunlight. Not today though, but you can get some fresh air. You can go exercise still. I did hear in Putnam County that they're closing down some parks. I'm not sure what that means by like parks like you go, on a swing and like kid parks, or if they're talking about like state parks, things like that. I'm not really sure what they're talking about. That I hear Putnam County was closing it down. One of the best things you could be doing is getting out and getting exercise, building some lung capacity. And honestly, if you're inside a building with people, even if it's family members, that's where things linger around. Being outside, things don't linger around. They actually dissipate. So a lot of the health experts that I'm following are saying, get outside, and really, that's really what you need, especially when it's sunny out. Supposedly, I've been preaching to build your immune system, build your immune system. Keep your immune system rocking and rolling. It's super important, especially now. You are what you eat. Eat high quality foods, no fried foods, no white flour, no sugary dishes, things like that, no dessert. Really eat just really high quality foods. You know what that is. We all know we all know what is what's healthy and what's not. We don't need a nutritionist or a doctor to tell us that French fries aren't something that are healthy versus something like a grapefruit. So Cheryl's saying yes, 58 tomorrow, 58 degrees tomorrow on the trails. I'm going out in a little while on the trails, taking the dogs, getting them outside as well. So they just want you socially distanced, I guess, if you go outside, or wherever you're at in the grocery store or whatever, or physically distance. Social distance is not the right word. Physical distance. We still want everybody to be social, and that's why Jamie's doing her happy hour every single day at noon. 4 o'clock. So we can all still be social, just from a distance, unfortunately. So we're still open. We're still doing takeout. You can come in and grab takeout to go. We are doing some deliveries. We can't promise we can get everywhere. We have a lot of phone calls for delivery. So if you know that you want food delivered, 647-3000. As we get further away, the minimum goes up a little bit. Right here in the immediate Ellenville, Napanoch area, where you don't care about really a minimum. You know, you order 1 or 2 dishes and that's fine. We went to Walk Hill yesterday. We took a big order to Walk Hill. I went to Accord yesterday, made a couple deliveries up in that area yesterday. So if you do need delivery, just understand we probably can't get it there when you want it there. So if you call at 4:30 and say I want something at 5:30, deliveries are probably already lined up. It's something we have to actually map out and know that we have the manpower to actually do that. So it's either me or Justin, our son Justin, doing deliveries, or a staff member if it comes down to that. So that's the situation with that. Things that we're doing here at the restaurant that we normally don't do, we're spraying a lot of things down with rubbing alcohol, with our Thieves essential oil spray. We're taking extra precautions, door handles, pens. We have all the pens lined up. Folks, when you go to the doctor's office, when you go get your oil changed, when you go anywhere and there's that pen and clipboard there, or you're taking a pen to sign something, it's better to take your own pen with you. Take some alcohol wipes. I keep alcohol wipes in my car on the front seat, so if I'm going somewhere, I can wipe things down. I take gloves with me. By the way, we are giving away gloves. So as a community service, if you come in, we will give you a handful of gloves. Do not pump gas without these. Do not go to the grocery store or push a shopping cart without these. These are essential, especially right now. Gloves are essential. If you don't have any, come down. We will get you some for free. Cheryl says, I always use my own pen. Always. Good job, Cheryl. Yes. Take your own pen with you. I like these pens here. These are my favorite pens. You always see me carrying one of these around in my pocket. And especially now, I'm really making sure that pen gets sprayed down and sanitized. So some good news coming up here. More and more doctors, more and more news is coming up. More and more articles are coming up on increasing your immune system, and getting out there, and you are what you eat. Take your vitamins, take your minerals, take your supplements, eat healthy, and build your immune system to fight this. This is such great advice. I started following a doctor yesterday, Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai, Shiva Ayyadurai, and he wrote a letter to President Trump, how to fight coronavirus without causing global depression, global economy depression, global, just depression. A lot of people are depressed right now because they're locked up at home. So that is frustrating for a lot of people. They can't get out and do their normal routine. So Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai wrote a great article here, or a great article was written in the New American, thenewamerican.com. He actually breaks us down very scientifically on your immune system and how people that are being affected we all know people that get affected have compromised immune systems. We're being told that left and right. The elderly people and people with compromised immune system are the ones who typically are the ones that are being affected more than other people. Other people may get it. They may never get the symptoms. They just may be exposed to it and fight off and get this immunity, or they may have a very slight flu symptoms, things like that, not as bad as people with a compromised immune system. So if we know that, if that's out there, that's mainstream media, that's totally mainstream media, don't you think they would actually say to us, the government, the CDC, the FDA, well, since we know this, here's the next step to getting you healthy, to keeping you healthy, but they're not really talking about that. I quoted a doctor the other day, Dr. Mark Hyman and Dr. Gundry, and they were talking about vitamin D. And Gundry was saying when he gets the flu-like symptoms, he takes 150,000 international units of vitamin D per day for 3 days. And he goes, that usually knocks it out, and he's very successful with that. He also does a lot of vitamin D testing with his patients to make sure there's no vitamin D toxicity. He goes, he's never had vitamin D toxicity, so he's on top of that. Of course, I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what other doctors are saying right now. And I read a lot, and I want to keep myself healthy as well. And if you know that I went through a major health revelation back in 1999, 1998, the year 2000, I got rid of all my meds, cleaned up my diet, reversed every condition I had, including asthma my whole life, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and all these kinds of things. So I personally know you are what you eat, because I went through that revelation, and I shocked my doctor in Colorado when I lived there when I was 28 years old. Totally shocked him. He had no idea what I did, didn't care what I did, because he knew what I was doing wasn't going to make him money. And that's basically the bottom line in this whole thing is doctors really aren't trained to go out of the box to do. There's a lot of great doctors out there. My primary care, I absolutely love my primary care, but I've only had, in the last 20 years, I've only had like 3 primary cares. 2 of them were totally on board with what I was doing, my own health, and the third one that I had would actually let me do what I wanted. I'd say, hey, I want to do this, and I don't want to take this. And he would say with me, he'd agree with me. He goes, okay, Marcus, that's fine. I'll support you on that. But I have to tell you, by law or by code or ethics or whatever, you should get a flu shot. You should do this. You should do that. You should do that. He goes, I have to tell you that because that's my job. But with what you're doing, seems okay. Just do it. And if there's an issue, we'll work from there. So it took me a long time to actually pick a primary care physician that would actually understand and I could have a legitimate conversation with. A lot of times you go to a primary care and you believe everything they say, and you do everything they absolutely say to a T. And a lot of this stuff it could be dangerous. There's a lot of implications with following these things sometimes, lots of implications following these things sometimes. So, because they have one thing in mind, sell pharmaceutical drugs, pharmaceutical ones, pharmaceutical drugs are the ones pharmaceutical companies are the ones who sponsor medical schools, are the ones who infiltrate through the continued training. And then these institutions like the American Dietetic Association gets funded by Coke and Pepsi, and the Sugar Association, all these kinds of things. So there's a lot of special interest money everywhere along the line. And this first actually happened. The first time special interest money was really introduced in a large scale like this was the 17th century, the 1600s. The 1600s, when you went to your doctor, early 1700s, when you went to your doctor specifically told you to get off the sugar. Get off the sugar. The sugar's not good for you. They knew that back then. The sugar's not good for you. Well, there was one problem. Sugar industries, the sugar plantations were making lots of money. Making so much money that the Catholic Church actually invested in sugar plantations. Now there was an issue. The Catholic Church has a lot of money tied up in sugar plantations. They're profitable. And your doctor that you're going to is telling you to get off the sugar. They're saying, no sugar, no sugar. So now all of a sudden, the Catholic Church had to change this mentality. And the way they did this was they went in and started sponsoring medical schools. They went into medical schools in the early 1800s, early 1700s, mid 1700s. They went into medical schools, and they actually started sponsoring the curriculum. All right, they were sponsors now. They were the ones, putting the textbooks out there, doing all that, sponsoring and getting their message out there. And that's when the word quackery was formed. You're a quack. After that point, if you were to tell your patients to get off the sugar, because that's not proven and this and that, and that's just hearsay and that's just quackery and things like that. So that's what was actually happening. So the Catholic Church was the one who led the way with that, with sugar plantations. And you better believe it right now, it runs rampant throughout the pharmaceutical industry, throughout Coke, Pepsi, all these companies. In fact, I heard the other day that at these American Dietetic Association continued education meetings, they don't allow pictures being taken like inside the rooms anymore because the tables are all lined up with junk food. The junk food of their sponsors of corporate America, all these junk foods. They don't allow to be pictures. It wouldn't be productive to take to have pictures in there, to tables and everything with Snickers and Mars and M&Ms, and you're at a health conference teaching America how to eat healthy and going into hospitals and showing people that actually need really nutritionally dense food how to eat healthy. So, folks, there's money tied up in all of this. So, and back to Dr. Shiva Ayadeva. Dr. Shiva Ayadeva, he wrote this great article and wrote a letter to President Trump and saying there's no need to shut the country down like this. There's no need to do this. You still need to isolate people. And he broke it down into 4 different tiers of people, or 5 different tiers in this article. Let's see, step 1, step 2, protocol 1, protocol 2, protocol 3 for children, for adults, protocol 4, these are for healthy individuals who do not. So he broke everything down of the population, of where they would fall in and what they should be doing nutritionally with vitamins, minerals, and things like that. And maybe certain people should be quarantined, but not all of America. So he's saying there's no need to just shut America down. The need is to improve our immune systems, improve our health, and go to the people that have the compromised immune systems, give them a different therapy. Every single person, they get this protocol. Who's at a certain age, who's your children, your adults, your seniors, you have these health issues. And so this is how he's breaking it down. So saying there's no need to shut America down. There's a need to increase our immune system and quarantine certain people and do certain things and take certain steps. And he's saying this is he actually tweeted this could go out as one of the biggest scams ever, economic scams ever. So it's an interesting article. He has a Twitter account that I just started following. He has a YouTube channel that I just started following. I just was turned on to him literally within the last day. Cheryl says, I almost feel guilty about going outside because everyone keeps saying to stay home. Yes, a lot of people are totally freaked out by this. A lot of people are totally freaked out. And this is just because it's the constant message we're getting hit with. But we're not getting hit with the message of boost your immune system, take your vitamins, take your vitamin D, take your vitamin C, take your zinc. This is not the message, and this should be the message that they're sending to us is, hey, boost your immune system, boost your immune system, boost. We all know, like when I was a kid, I just moved here from Colorado. It was 1983. And that fall time, I was exposed to somebody who had tuberculosis. I didn't know they had tuberculosis. One of my neighbors had tuberculosis, and it was in Ellenville. And at this point, Ellenville was a hotspot for tuberculosis because there was a couple live cases of tuberculosis. Well, these people were my neighbors, all right? So I was around them. I was exposed to tuberculosis. I showed up positive for tuberculosis. I never had a single symptom because my body was exposed to it, fought it off. My immune system, I was a kid. My immune system, my parents cooked wholesome meals. My mom wasn't the best at nutrition, but we always had lots of fresh fruit. We always had vegetables. My mom always cooked. It was never like TV dinners, frozen dinners. We didn't have a fryer in the house. She didn't take me to McDonald's. She would buy soda here and there, but not that often. She would buy soda here and there. But so I ate a wholesome diet, a well-cooked, well-thought-out meal. My mom would buy whole grain bread. So my mom knew something, but not everything. We had a lot of beans. We had a lot of vegetarian food, things like that. So I was exposed. My neighbors had tuberculosis. And I only was around them once, but I was around them over and over because they were my neighbors. They literally lived 4 houses away from me, the 2 who had live tuberculosis. So from there, I was around this several times. I never ever had a single symptom. If you put somebody else there, an elderly person, they would have probably gotten full-blown tuberculosis. And I had a compromised immune system as a kid. I had asthma, and my parents gave us healthy food, but I had issues because of my asthma. And once I improved my immune system and cleaned my diet up, I got rid of my asthma. So I was able to fight it off as a kid and just show up positive. And that was it. I never got anything. So you can be exposed to things and never have the symptoms, or you can they call it being a carrier, right? So then all of a sudden you can pass it on to somebody else. But so why does one person get it and another person not, right? What's the difference? It's our immune systems. So the focus should be eating high quality food, eating organic, putting a lot of good probiotics into your system so your gut bacteria is healthy. A lot of times your immune system is your gut, is your stomach, is your gut. Your digestive system is your first line of defense a lot of times, all right? I'm still saying take all these other precautions, wear gloves, wash your hands, take your own pen with you, all these things. All these are super, super helpful. But being outside, if you're outside for 30 minutes in sunshine, your body can produce 20,000 international units of vitamin D in a half an hour. 20,000 units in a half an hour is amazing. And the one thing I've always thought was lacking in hospitals was an outdoor area. Outdoor areas in hospitals where patients can actually get outside and just sit in the sun, I think would make a massive, massive difference, even for as little as a half an hour. They spend tons of money, millions and millions and millions of dollars building these hospitals, but there's not much space outside for patients to go outside and get one of the most important things they need, fresh air and vitamin D, sunlight. So, folks, this is what we need to be focusing on now. Just put as many good things in your body as possible. Take your vitamins. Go and start self-educating yourself from a lot of these doctors and see what they're doing in there. Because if you go to Dr. Gundry's, to his YouTube or to his podcast, he'll tell you exactly what he does with his patients. When a patient has this is what I do. When a patient has this is what I do. All right. So they're telling you actual things that they're doing in their own practices that are helping people reverse things and be healthy. I'll never forget the first time I listened to Dr. Whitaker. Dr. Whitaker, he's one of the country's foremost cardiologists. The very first time I listened to him, I watched maybe an hour it was an hour interview. He was lecturing, and he said the very first time that he actually started helping people was when he broke away from mainstream medical as a cardiologist. He goes, as soon as I broke away and came out of that paradigm of more drugs and more this and more that and focused on the person as a whole, their diet, their nutrition, all that, he goes, that's the day I started reversing heart disease. That's the day I started helping people. He goes, that's the day I became a true doctor. And I've heard this back in like 1999, year 2000, I heard this. I had it on a VHS tape that I plugged into my VCR, and this is what I played, and I listened to this. And he's like, that's when I discovered what being a doctor was about actually curing people, reversing people, not just giving them more drugs and keeping them alive on drugs. And that was I remember that. I actually believe that video was shot here in the Catskills. I believe it was shot at the Homoac, which is right down the road here. So if there's any Ellenville people, you know the Homoac. If you know the Borscht Belt. He was up there doing a lecture, I think, in the 80s at some point. And this was just a VHS tape that I had gotten of one of his lectures from the 80s. And I believe it was at the Homoac. Because I know that he used to come up here and do lectures and do things like that. So, again, folks, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Just drop a comment, #live if you're tuning in live. Drop a comment, #replay if it's on the replay. Also, drop a comment of where you're tuning in from. Cheryl goes, thank you so much. Great information. You're very welcome, Cheryl. I really appreciate I love sharing things like this. I love cooking good food. I love using organic ingredients. I love using local ingredients. I love just honoring food as a whole, and food as a whole is very powerful or destructive to your body, to your immune system. You are what you eat. So keep healthy. If anybody can just share this video, one or two more people sharing this video, doing some research, finding out how to keep yourself healthy and your immune system up can make a big difference for you and your family. It can make a big difference for you and your family. So, and folks, by no means am I saying that I don't get sick, because I do get sick from time to time, and I do things that aren't great for my immune system, and I know that. But as soon as I take the opportunity to honor my body and honor my immune system, I just feel fantastic and I feel great. When I drink beet juice, I feel amazing. Beet juice is so amazing for your heart. The nitric oxide, it is beet juice, pomegranate concentrate. But when I drink beet juice, I notice my runs are just on. I run much better. I perform better. I feel better. I can breathe better. Just like a 6 ounce, 8 ounce glass of beet juice, whether it's fresh beet juice or not beet juice. Beet juice is super, super important. You hear no word on mainstream media about you should be buying beet juice and that there's a run in the stores on beet juice, and companies are now trying to figure out how they're going to make more beet juice to make America healthy. We don't hear that kind of stuff. But if mainstream media put that information out there, if Dr. Shiva's information was out there, then you'd have, if this was out there as a national protocol, if it was out there in the state level, if Cuomo was on talking about how to keep your immune system healthy and what to eat, what not to eat, and really focus on this and talk about these protocols and talk about this and talk about that, this would make a difference. This would make a massive difference. Our mindset would start to change. Talking about stuff like this, building your immune system, gives people hope, because this is something that we can do. All right, we all have the power to go out and build our immune system starting right now. Right now, by the next meal we eat, we can choose not to eat cheese fries, skip the 3,000 calorie fried onions, skip the cheesecake, skip the ice cream sundae, skip the Snickers bar in between, skip the junk food in between. All of us have that power right now to build our immune system. And if that was the message to the public right now, build your immune system, your chances are better, as opposed to fear-mongering everybody. We have to shut down, don't talk to anybody, stay 6 feet away. If you're non-essential, you can't be out. We're closing down the parks, no more hiking. Folks, we need to be out. We need oxygen. We need sunshine. We need that to stay healthy. So, somebody just said, Nick says, it's hard for me to read the comments because my face is there and it's in the screen. Going to make a beet smoothie right now. Awesome. Add some ginger root. Awesome, cool. And coconut water. Awesome. Yeah, you agree. Energy levels are through the roof. Nick, post a picture of that. Inspire some other people. Once you make that posted, put some fresh turmeric. Turmeric is one of the most amazing foods ever. One of the most amazing spices ever. The active ingredient in turmeric is curcumin. Curcumin is the strongest known anti-inflammatory thing out there. It is amazing. Athletes are taking it. These are one of the things. Degenerative diseases have inflammation. If everybody just took curcumin, and you can put turmeric in your food, in your smooth juices, in your smoothies. But if you take the isolated extract and take dose up on curcumin, that would do the whole population good. Every single person in America could benefit from taking curcumin right now. And that's just the bottom line, especially people with compromised immune systems and degenerative diseases. But there's no message about that because the pharmaceutical companies are fighting left and right, buying up all the mental capacity of every single doctor and student out there and healthcare professional, the ADA, all these kind of things. So they're out there getting their message across, and curcumin's not in there, eating turmeric's not in there, making beet juice, making a beet smoothie with ginger. Ginger is an amazing food. Ginger's awesome. Cayenne pepper, all the kinds of chilies, mushrooms. You can go out to the wild here and you can go out right now and pick shaga. You can walk up to a birch tree or a white birch tree, a black birch tree, and pick a hunk of shaga, take it off the tree responsibly, and go home and make some tea, boost your immune system. This is the stuff that they're using in other countries to ward off disease, to treat cancer, to do things. Burdock root, that annoying burr that when you go out in the summertime, that burr sticks to your clothes or to your dogs. That annoying burr, that root right there is super powerful. It's one of the main ingredients in Essiac tea, which they use in Canada and other countries to combat cancer. All right. So, but when it shoots its stalk up and gets those burrs, the nutrients leave the root and it shoots up. You have to catch it early and basically stomp it down, just like you'd stomp down an onion, and concentrate all that energy to the root. And so those burdock roots, if you have the opportunity to pick a burdock from your yard, that's something you would pick, wash really good. Try not to peel it, but wash it really good and just shave it right in your salad. Grate it right in your salad. Mix it with carrots. Be amazing for you to eat stuff like that. You can actually go to the store and buy burdock root. Burdock root is something that you can actually go to a health food store in the aisle and actually buy in the produce aisle burdock root. And it's something that grows wild. So these are the things that we need to be focusing on, the food that we have around us. It's maple syrup season right now. Drinking maple water is amazing for your immune system. Go out, tap a tree, take the water, don't reduce it, just take the water and drink it. I drank a couple gallons the last week or so. People brought me some in, and I thanked them for bringing it in. Anybody else wants to bring me in some water, I'll totally drink it. But that maple water, not the maple water you buy in bottles. That is the wastewater from the processing of maple syrup that they clean the machines with, and they put it into bottles and they put it on the shelf, and they think, oh, we have tree water, maple water, birch water. You don't want to drink that stuff there. You want to get stuff right out of the tree, much healthier for you, not the waste product. A maple root digs itself way in. It's tapping so many minerals and nutrients out of the earth, and all that goes right into the water and goes super important. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. Had a lot of people tuning in. I really appreciate the support. Again, drop a comment, #live. If you're watching live on the replay, #replay on the replay. Eat good food, keep your immune system up. This should be the message right now. It should be the message, just keep going. We all know what good food is, folks. We all know what good food is. So start with your next meal, about your next bite you put in, boosting your immune system, get some fresh air. And folks, that's it. I have to do a little work, and I'm gonna go out and go for a run here soon. All right, talk to you later.